Hello and welcome to another edition of the TES Secondary Maths Resource of the Week with me, Craig Barton. Now, transformations is one of those topics that kids probably first meet year 8, sometimes even year 7, and they are still transforming stuff in year 9, year 10 and year 11. And over the years, my students have transformed many things. Simpsons characters, rectangles, triangles, all manner of shapes and stuff. But one thing they have never transformed, until now that is a dog. And that's why I absolutely love this resource here. Dog Transformations GCSE, which has been prepared by Jenny F100. Now let me just show you this. It consists of 2 PDFs. And also one Excel workbook, which is going to be very, very important in a second. The 2 PDFs are essentially the same, it's just one's black and white and one's in colour, so let's treat ourselves to the colour. And essentially you have 4 questions here. You have the translation, the wandering dog. You have the reflection, the ice skating dog. You have the rotation, which is the Aussie dog, I like this. And you have the enlargement, which is the greedy dog. And then you have the answers given to it as well. Now, why do I like this? Because I'll be honest with you, and this is going to put off a load of viewers straight away, I'm not actually that big a fan of dogs. But I like this firstly because it's a little bit different. And I think sometimes there's a danger in maths that things can be gimmicky for the wrong reason. We can just chuck in strange contexts which don't add anything in particular to it, and in fact impose an extra cognitive demand on students when they're trying to process what we're on about. But sometimes students do need something a bit different when it's useful, and this certainly is a useful technique. Because look at the amount of vertices on this dog, and that means you've got to be really precise with both your translations, your reflections, your rotations and your enlargement. It's far more challenging, but in a useful way, to transform a dog than it is a 4-sided rectangle or a 3-sided triangle or something like that. So that's why I like it, and also just it's a bit different. It's very well laid out, it's very kind of pleasing on the eye. I like the fact that the grids definitely fit the dog on there, which often isn't the case when I try and make up my examples. This flipping head would be halfway off the x-axis. So I like that. But there are other things I like. This also comes with an Excel spreadsheet. Now this is super. People who can do Excel, they just blow my mind. I'm going to move my stupid head out of the way here. So here you have your original dog there. And then here you have each of the worksheets. So you have the translation, you have the reflection and so on. But you'll notice here that you've actually got how this thing's been built. Flipping complex, but you can change things. So I can change that from a -13 to a -11 like that, and then when I go back to my translation, the dog's changed, and then I would need to update this and so on. Now why is that nice? Well, for 2 reasons really. Firstly, it means that I can potentially create an infinite amount of these worksheets, which is really, really, really useful. So I can start with my dog and I can just blank out the answer, and I can generate as many different examples as I want. So that's really good for producing a worksheet. But secondly, it enables me to do things interactively and ask interesting questions. So I can say to students something along the lines of, how would I need to change this translation so the dog's nose ends up there at 7 - 3? Or likewise, if I go to the reflection, how would I need to change the reflection so that the dog's tail goes to a different position? And you'll see you can change reflections and rotations, and they're in matrices, so I had to do a little bit of revision. My matrix transformations are a little bit rusty. But you can just play around and experiment. And what's nice about that is it means you don't have to keep continually printing out sheets and giving them to students. You've got something interactive that you can demonstrate on the whiteboard and just ask some more complex, searching, inquiry-based questions for students. So I just thought this was lovely. I mean, you're going to use this with any class. Any class doing transformations is going to benefit from this, and it's the gift that keeps giving, because you can keep changing it around and reinventing itself and so on. So I thought that was lovely, and when I actually tweeted this out, I then got told that there was loads of spin-offs. So we've got a cat transformation, Santa's involved with the transformation as well, and also these dogs and cats appear in a whole host of other maths topics. So follow Jenny F100 if you're interested in that. So I thought that was lovely anyway. Hope you found that useful. If you do and you use it, hop back onto the website, leave a little review, and I shall see you for a fresh, maybe dog related, but who knows, resource of the week next week. Take care. Bye for now.